Dustin, and then to Dave.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Jeff, last week wasn't the first time, won't be the last time that a winning car in a NASCAR race fails post-race inspection. Obviously, NASCAR issues penalties, and people can debate how severe they are, but as long as the driver and the team still retain that victory, there seems to be a perception, at least among fans, that cheating, you can still cheat and win. As a competitor, what's your thoughts about how NASCAR handles it, and the idea that even with these penalties, there's still the perception, or can be the perception, that you can still cheat in the sport and still win?
You know, I have a different perspective on it. I won a NASCAR race, a nationwide race, and went through post-race inspection, deemed illegal, and the race was taken away. That was, dude, I don't know what year I got married, what year I graduated. I barely know what year I was born. But it was in New River Valley Speedway. We won the race. Victory Lane, got the trophy. The rear gear was found to be a non-Detroit type locker. And I hand-delivered the trophy to Bobby Dotter the next weekend. So when people say you can win the race and you're illegal, my experience it contradicts that. Now, I may be the only example, but it happened to me. Well, I heard that Richard Petty did it in 1972. I heard that, or whatever year it was. I heard that, you know, I've heard it for years. My opinion is that some penalties some penalties would warrant taking the trophy and taking the points, and some penalties wouldn't. Does that make sense? I mean, there's minor infractions and there's major infractions. I don't know how you differentiate the two. I do see and I do understand if someone is found to be illegal from the outside looking in, how people can say, now wait a minute, if you're illegal, you should have the race taken away. And the guy that finished second, the guy that finished third, he's got to be standing there saying, hey, you know, what about us? We weren't illegal, and he still gets the trophy. And I think it's a valid argument. I think it's something that I'm not trying to tiptoe around the answer, but well, not yet. I hadn't been elected to anything, but you know, I can see how you know you could have some sort of a small infraction that didn't impact the performance of the car. And that should be looked at differently than something that does impact the performance. If something that impacts the performance of the car, there needs to be a real discussion about whether someone should keep that victory or not. And I'm sure that discussion's been had 1,000 times, but I understand why people would look at that and it doesn't sound very good.
Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, Jeff, Dave Rodman, NASCAR.com. We're coming up on a third of the way through this season. Could you reflect on what the best aspect of working with Todd Berrier as your crew chief has been, and as we get to that same period, what's Scott Miller been like in the role he's taken after leaving as your crew chief?
Yeah, you know, Scott's taken his position and run with it, done a great job. Richard's given him the latitude to do that. That's something that Richard is kind of out of character for Richard, because Richard wants to be involved in every single thing, but Richard's given Scott a lot of latitude to go off and do things that have really impacted our company in a positive way. I think Scott's done a phenomenal job. Boy, he hadn't had many rookie mistakes, you know, in his position. It's been that structure and that foundation has really benefited our company a great deal. Todd is the thing I like working with Todd the most is his effort. He accepts no compromise. He accepts nothing but the very best. If there is a question, he goes and answers it. If there is a debate about what's better, he goes and finds the answer. He leaves no stone unturned. And he doesn't look at the clock to decide whether or not something's right or wrong. His effort is incredible. He's extremely smart. But and typically people like that struggle a little bit with getting help from the people around him. And I think Todd's one of those guys. Todd's one of those guys that if you said, here's a pile of metal and some welders and some wrenches and some stuff, and you had a crew chief competition, who could go build the best car, Todd Barrier's going to win that competition. If he had to do it all by himself, there's no one in the garage who could do a better job than Todd Barrier. I guarantee that. From a crew chief standpoint. And those kind of people tend to not accept help from around them very well because they're going to do it themselves. But Todd has really embraced sort of the new way of doing business by using engineering, using all the design groups, using the fabricator, using the people that can make him smarter. And that's been really cool to see because that's a transition for Todd, not have to do it all by himself. And his willingness to accept that, his work ethic, his desire, his dedication, all those things have just really been impressive to me.
Final question in the back.
Joe Sullivan, NBC Richmond. Jeff, welcome back to Virginia to begin with. Down the line, do you see yourself running for political office? And if so, what would interest you the most?
I see myself serving my community in some form or fashion. I don't know what that is. I never served in the military. I never, I've lived my life to be the best race car driver and the wife, a good husband and a father. That's been my mission. And I have not served my country, and that's something that I think we all need to do. And I haven't done that. And so when I step back from this, then that's what I'm going to go set out to do. I don't know if that's going to be in a political arena. I don't know if that's going to be volunteering. I don't know what that means, other than to say that, I think that I haven't done my part, and it will be my time to do my part.
Jeff, thank you very much. All the luck in the world this weekend.